Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's weather update. So, a pretty potent storm is going to be impacting the Pacific Northwest over the next 48 hours from our train of atmospheric river storms, and this one is going to bring a flooding threat. So, looking at the 0Z run of the HRRR model, rain is already spreading across western Washington state and northwestern Oregon as of 7 p.m. Central Standard Time this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And then as we go through the overnight, heavy rain is going to continue to move across Washington State, northwestern Oregon, waking up tomorrow around 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our atmospheric river is going to be bringing a whole lot of heavy rain to the Pacific Northwest. And this is going to last all day tomorrow, going into tomorrow evening, especially from the Seattle down through the Portland area. And then as we go into Wednesday morning, this is now Wednesday around 7 a.m. Pacific time. Very heavy rain is continuing across Washington, Western Oregon, Northwest California. And the thing that I want you to notice is that most of the precipitation in the Cascades is going to be rain. So we're going to be dealing with snowmelt in addition to um, heavy rain on top of snow. And this is going to go all the way through Wednesday afternoon. And these are going to be leading to some very heavy rainfall accumulations. Looking at the rainfall accumulations in the 0Z run of the HRRR model, across western Oregon, west of the Cascades, widespread 2 to 4 inches are going to be likely over the next 48 hours. And we are going to be seeing pockets of rainfall accumulation, especially along the coast, of 5 to 10 inches. So this is going to lead to some pretty dangerous flooding issues, especially across coastal Oregon over the next 2 days. And then looking at the Cascades in Washington and the Mount Olympia area, widespread 5 to 10 inches of rain there as well. Pockets as high as a foot of rain over the next 48 hours alone. Looking at about 3 to 4 inches in Seattle, up through Everett, and then down towards Portland, about 3 inches of rain. Down towards Salem, about 2 inches. And then northeast Washington, northern Idaho, about 2 to 4 inches of rain as well from this particular storm system. So make sure you're preparing for uh, pretty uh, pretty widespread flooding if you live across northwestern Oregon and western Washington state over the next 48 hours. Looking at the National Weather Service's watches, warnings, and advisories map, we have aerial flood watches in effect for western Oregon, western Washington state, into northeastern Washington state, far northern Idaho in the dark green, and the light greens we have flood advisories across northwestern Oregon, southwestern Washington, including the Portland area. And then in central eastern Washington and Oregon, we have hydraulic outlooks, which is basically just describing that we could be seeing flooding even across eastern areas of Washington and Oregon east of the Cascades. So make sure you're preparing for this flooding event if you live across, especially coastal Oregon and Washington, over the next 48 hours. And looking at the Weather Prediction Center's excessive flooding rainfall outlook, we have a marginal risk of flash flooding from northwestern Oregon through the eastern coastal ranges through Portland, through central Washington state, near Vancouver in the green. We have a very large slight risk of flooding from the coastal ranges of northwestern Oregon through the Cascade Range up through Olympia, Tacoma, Seattle, and Everett, Washington. And then we have a moderate risk of excessive flooding rainfall for Olympic National Park, Olympic National Forest, and Aberdeen, Washington. So especially if you live in the slight and moderate risk areas, make sure you're preparing for flooding over the next 24 to 48 hour period. So thanks for watching this evening's weather update on our Pacific Northwestern storms. Please make sure you're preparing for a scattered to widespread flooding if you live especially across northwestern Oregon, the Cascades, and westward in Washington state. Please stay safe and have a wonderful evening, my friends.